As Mark mentioned, RS BioTherapeutics is a life science company focused on bringing life-changing medicines for patients suffering from deadly inflammatory lung diseases. Our first two disease states are idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, IPF, and COPD, chronic pulmonary obstructive pulmonary disease. These are huge markets, have high rates of mortality, and combined make up 50% of the projected 2030 global respiratory market of almost $105 billion. Now, both of these have significant drawbacks with current therapies. With IPF, there's only two products that are on the market today. These are focused on slowing the progression rather than a cure for this deadly disease. And to tell you a little bit about those two therapies, basically, even though you have an average mortality of 48 months upon diagnosis, only 3 out of every 10 patients are taking these products. On the other side of things, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, otherwise known as COPD, 2 words, inhaled corticosteroids. Now, they're outstanding from an effectiveness perspective in reducing pulmonary inflammation. However, long-term, they have significant adverse events, misuse, overuse. And when you look at the patient population, there are significant number of patients that have common health issues, which are contraindicated for the use of these agents, which are listed here. Finally, for this reason, the 2023 GOLD guidelines no longer recommend ICS for initial therapy or as follow-up therapy, which brings us to our product, RSBT-001. It is the first multi-targeted compound that harnesses the immune modulating power of specific anti-inflammatory cannabinoids to reduce pulmonary inflammation by targeting the inflammatory cascade at multiple levels. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, each lung disease has a fingerprint, right? And pharmaceutical researchers have typically developed products focused on a single mediator, a single biomarker, maybe 2. Well, when we take a look at ours, and you can see the color-coded, we got the mediators on the left. These are color-coded by COPD and IPF. RSBT is highly differentiated in its strong multi-targeted activity in reducing several of these inflammatory mediators, even when compared to the most potent corticosteroid on the market at a dose typically reserved for intensive care patients. Now, it's not just the efficacy and the broad activity, but it's also the projected side effect profile. Right. So obviously we won't know until we get into human trials, which we will be doing in about 18 months from now. But we already know what the side effect profiles are of the components. And from CBDA and CBD, which is the lion's share of our product, dry mouth, diarrhea, reduced appetite, these are things that you see in a placebo. Magnesium is another key component of our product. And basically, magnesium is safe until you get up to 5,000 milligrams. And as you can see here, you would basically have to break into a distribution center to be able to take enough over day and night well, you would never get there. So they would catch you before you got there. So we share not only the broad activity, but also this safety profile with NIH. And NIH approached us after reviewing it and said, hey, we would like to do a collaboration to review your product for the treatment and prevention of IPH. Why is that important? Because big pharma covets rare disease products due to the incentives provided by the Orphan Drug Act. And we just list a couple of these: faster review, R&D tax credits, higher reimbursement, lower customer acquisition costs, and the big one, 7 years exclusivity from competition. So what we're searching for right now, just a little history, we've raised $2.7 million in our first raise in Seed 1 last year. We've accomplished quite a bit over the last year and a half. We're now in our Seed 2, which is a SAFE. We've raised $1.3 million, raised of a $5 million target. We have a 20% discount and a $40 million cap. Now, the question always comes up, what are you expecting your valuation to be? We have an incredible surrogate that just happened in August, $1.1 billion purchase of Inversago by Novo Nordisk. As I mentioned, it happened recently. It is a single cannabinoid receptor-focused product being developed for 2 indications, just like us. The Inversago product is currently in phase 1 for 1 indication, phase 2 for the other. We project RSBT-001 to be in phase 2 by mid-2026. So we're looking at a very large market, high mortality, significant unmet need, a first-in-class multi-targeted compound that has been shown to be more effective in reducing key biomarkers than the most potent corticosteroid on the market. NIH has looked at this data. They approached us to do that study. If we look at our benchmark, we're looking at anywhere from a 15 up to a 20x on our current valuation as early as 2026. And we are raising $3.7 million via a SAFE to continue develop of our product, bring hope to millions of patients suffering from IPF and COPD, and create a big return for our customers. We have an incredible leadership team. I've been associated with 2 multi-billion-dollar brands. Dr. Shuffett actually was with Boehringer Ingelheim and helped launch their first product in the market for COPD. Curtis Ryan was with me at Takeda Pharmaceuticals when we took that company from $400 million to $3.5 billion. Left there, went to Ovation Pharmaceuticals and helped them sell to Lundbeck. And then Justin Malignoni is our incredible visionary that brought this compound together.